Thanks for joining me today for a very highly anticipated piece, this custom Silver Surfer. Over a year in the making. It.
Yo, yeah, it's me. What's up, bro?
You're talking?
How's it going?
Okay. You know, in all the time that I imagined what you would sound like, that wasn't it.
Yeah, well, my name, is Norrin Red. Duh.
Fair point.
Yeah. Dude, you should, seen, how difficult it was to get here, bro.
Yeah, I knew you had quite a trip getting here. It looked like your box had been through hell and back.
So, bro, I was, sitting in my box, man, and we're, chilling. It's no big deal. I'm flying across a big pond, headed to the States, man. So, I mean, bro, I've faced, Galacticus and Thanos and all that, bro. But, I mean, this guy was, the worst whenever I hit the States. His name was, Fred Hex, I think it was. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Fred's too intimidating, but,
Wait. Does this guy, Fred Hex, drive a white truck, black shirt, purple right here?
Yeah, that's the dude.
Yeah, I think I know that guy. Not a fan. So what happened?
So this dude, rips the top off the box, man, and then he's like, bro, I'm going to break you into 1,000,000 pieces. I'm like, oh, no, you're not. And he's like, oh, yeah, I am. And I'm like, oh, no, you're not. And he's like, oh, yeah, I am. And I'm like, okay, power cosmic, pew, 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 and pow, and he was like, ka-chunk, and then, and then he hit me, and I was like, and then, more power cosmic, pew, 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 and then
okay,
it was
so
awesome.
Whoa. So, cut to the chase. So, obviously, you won. So how did you defeat this guy?
Bro, I basically kicked him in the nuts.
Oh, nice answer. That's what I wanted to do too. So, all right, well, I'm glad he made it in one piece, and we will be right back.
So, bro, I've been standing here in this position for 4 hours. Could you rub my lower back or something?
No. For one thing, you're not wearing any pants. Ew.
Surf naked, bro. Surf naked.
Fair point. Touche.
Could you at least get me an Advil?
Hey, if you enjoy what I do, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to receive notices next time I post a video. And so the evil Fred Hex was defeated, and the people gathered together,
and there was much rejoicing.
So what that was all about, waited a pretty good amount of time with tracking, not showing anything for about a month, and finally, I was at work one day, and whenever he was actually out for delivery, the wife sent this photo. And it's like, oh, great. I spent all this money, waited all this time, and they have destroyed it. So, but thankfully, he arrived intact, and we are good to go. So let's get right to the review. Concept. So I've become virtual friends with the commissioner of this piece, and was kind of picking his brain on how the process went. And he told me, he said, I actually thought on this one a while. He said it was actually kind of a love-hate relationship for some time. He said, I started the project, literally had a startup to, I guess, to prototype, but to whatever phase he got, he said, I actually did that 3 times and would punt because it just wasn't right. And he says, it's very important to me to not only have a dynamic pose, but the base has got to be a cohesive complement to that, which I really appreciated, that it's not just random, that it's, I can tell his heart is truly in the hobby, and that he cares about what he's putting out there. But he said, I started the project 3 times and punted. And he said, and then eventually, he said, I stumbled across this cover. For once, I actually have a live reference. So this is a variant cover of Silver Surfer. And he said, I found this artwork and was just blown away. And he was like, immediately I knew that's it. That's what I'm gonna do. So initially this was intended to be a LED light up clear resin base that would glow blue, which you can see pictures here. But the commissioner said that whenever he received the first prototype, parts were broken on it. The LED was faulty, and he was like, he's like back to the drawing board on this part of it. So he was very discouraged, but he decided to change and go to this paint job here. I like it much better. I'm not a huge fan of light up LED bases. That's just my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of the light up LED. I think they're a little bit toyish looking. Other people love them. Just a matter of opinion. But the paint job is just phenomenal. We'll get that into the paint part of the review. But so I think it was an outstanding decision. Paint does not break, whereas LED does. Paint comes in multiple colors. You know, you've got purple, these tealish blues, greens. It's basically a rainbow of colors in here, very subtly. With the glow base, you got blue, and that's it. That's all you're getting. So I think it was a huge plus, and we'll cover again as we go into paint. So I can just feel the commissioner's love for the character, for the hobby in general, and the fact that, you know, even though it's costing him money, that he wouldn't just settle for just okay. He's like, I want to produce this cover and make it 3-dimensional and make it awesome. I think he did that, and for that concept is going to get a score of 10. Next up is construction. So the build of the piece, so well done. The base, all this is one solid piece. The board is glued in place. You cannot remove it. So that's super rock solid. He keys in right here on the rear foot. The arm seams are about as well as you could possibly ask on a shiny silver body. Very well done. There's only one change out, and that is if you want the non-power cosmic effect. You got just a plain hand here, which looks awesome also, but I like the power effect. Magnets are super, super strong. They lock in, and I mean, I can wiggle it, but it doesn't wiggle on its own. I mean, you can jiggle the heck out of it and it ain't going anywhere. No neck seam, as there's only the solid cast head sculpt. No need for a second head sculpt. So a testament to the construction is the exterior of the shipper box, that the art box was okay. It's a huge box compared to, you know, to some other statues. Very well insulated, and I am so glad it was, because it arrived intact. And no criticisms of construction whatsoever. Rock solid build. Construction also gets a 10. Next up is sculpt. I love the fact in the base that they included these meteorites mixed forever, like, you know, just the kinetic energy, you know, in motion the base portrays there, that almost looks like earth ocean waves, but yet in a cosmic power energy type format. Very cool. Moving on to Surfer himself. The board looks excellent. I like everything about it. It's got the 5 stripes there, everything, that the choices with the board and the shape and all, absolutely love. Surfer himself is just outstanding. His musculature is not overblown. He's fit, just super, super well done in the every single aspect of the sculpt of him. The head sculpt is just perfect. You know, it's intense. He's concentrate on what he's doing. It fits the rest of the sculpt perfectly. One head sculpt was all that was needed there. I think it's just executed to perfection on the head sculpt. So as the entirety of the sculpt, the swoosh here, him moving forward, leaning into it, stoic look on his face, it just works perfectly. It portrays everything I think of with speed and power and everything that you think of whenever you think of Silver Surfer. The sculpt is amazing, A+, also a score of 10. All right, next up we have paint. I don't know if I like sculpt or I like paint better, but I'm gonna have some controversy here. I like this. It's called Alclad Chrome. Alclad Chrome. So the sculpt starts out being painted black, as you'll see here. Then they add the Alclad Chrome effect to it through spray, and they have to be very careful to have any dust or anything. Any imperfection is going to show bad on a shiny silver body like this. So the controversy is, I like this better than chrome. Again, this is just my personal opinion. But for me, shiny chrome loses detail. It looks awesome in the fact the way it picks up lights and reflects the room and all that, but to me it loses detail. My personal preference, I think this is awesome. He's the Silver Surfer, not the Chrome Surfer. Oh, I'm gonna get some crap over that one, but. So onto the base paint. It has this metallic flake almost in it in the paint that is really hard to photograph, but just really is amazing to look at in person. And as I mentioned earlier, the color palette goes from blues to purples to greens to this orangish coppery look at the ends of it. The color palette is just awesome. So many surfer statues. What are we gonna do? Oh, let's cookie cutter, black base, purple highlights, and again, nothing wrong with that. I know one statue, another custom in particular, that is a fantastic piece, but I love the fact that he went original on this. Again, to me, denotes Earth, ocean, but yet, whenever you see pictures of the Hubble from the Hubble telescope, there's some awesome, vivid colors in there. You don't always have to be, you know, black hole or that color scheme. Another very cool thing is these meteorites. Again, I don't know how well it's going to pick up in my photos, but they are painted a metallic finish to them. They're not just boring rocks. Usually rocks are rocks, but these are very cool to look at. My wife is a gemologist, and she said they look like hematites, which is pictured here. And I was like, I knew they reminded me of something, but she nailed what they were. But pictures I've seen where people find meteorites in nature or whatever, you know, remind me of that. Very cool the way that they did the rocks here. So in summary of paint, you got this awesome color palette, but wait, I forgot to tell you something. The paint glows in the dark. You take a UV light and charge the paint, and then when you cut the lights, this is the remedy to the LED issue. And I think it is so cool, added feature to be able to bring guests in and charge this thing up and then cut the lights, and then you get this effect here. And it looks stinking awesome. So, with that, paint gets a score of 12. No, I can't do that, but yes, paint gets a score of 10 also. So presence means when you walk in and see 20 statues, are your eyes drawn to this one? The answer is absolutely. I can't stop looking at it. It's like just so amazing, so amazing. Long wait, long shipping wait, but man, oh man, what an awesome piece. So the answer is, does it have shelf pop? Yes, yes, yes. Score of 10.
collective score.
So we have a first here. Every single category got a 10, so that means our collective score is 50. So you may be watching, if you follow my channel, and go, well, not that long ago you claimed that the Venom was your favorite statue, and you gave it a 49, you gave this one a 50. Doesn't mean I like this statue better. What I try to do is remove emotion from it. Probably the closest I get to an emotional score is presence. You know, does it move me? And what I try to rate on is, you know, I've painted things. I'm going to do a video soon of a diorama that I built. I have a little bit of artistic side to me, so what I try to do is go, man, I would have done this a little bit different or better or whatever. The only critique I had, and it killed me, was the paint on the bricks at the bottom of this. Nitpick, but I couldn't, in all honesty, give it a perfect score. This one, there's nothing that I look at and go, that could be done better. So things that could portray into a statue gets a higher score, but doesn't necessarily be my favorite, is, do I like the character better? You know, I try to take that emotion out of my scores and just give an assessment of how they executed what they did. So I hope you've enjoyed this review of a very cool piece, one that I'm proud to own, and the commissioner should be very proud, and I know he is. And if you enjoy what I do, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Also, check us out on Instagram. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at a very special piece in my collection, one of my favorites. Hope y'all have remained safe and healthy and haven't gone insane being locked in your house. Until then, I'll see you next week, and surf's up, dude. Later.
So beautiful.